Okay, I think we can start the class. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir. Susan.
Okay. Now, in the last class, we started with quantity takeoff, and in quantity takeoff, we did about the quantity of brick. Now some of you have not noticed, but I noticed that I have made a little mistake in that quantity takeoff, which I'll rectify right now. So I'm gonna re-show you the method of how do we find out the number of bricks and the quantity of mortar and the number of bags of cement and sand basically. Okay, so let me get that file for you. Sorry. So we have some brick walls, that's fine, and we had taken out the scheduling. uh, that's window schedule, sorry, I did not save that schedule. Okay, that's fine then. So we can retake off the scheduling for just specifically for that brick wall only. So to do that, I'll come to the view tab, and that I'll take schedule and quantities. And I'm not going to take schedule quantities, but I'm going to pick the material takeoff from here. Okay, because we wanted to find the quantity of materials basically. We don't want to find the quantity of walls or categories. We want to find the materials basically. So we'll take material takeoff. Now, when you take material takeoff, it will ask you for which category you want to take off the material. So we'll take walls, and in walls, I'm going to write down this is wall material takeoff for supposedly brick wall. Bricks. Okay, and in this, I'm gonna input the field information. So only first is the count basically. Then what's the family and type. Then I need the functionality of the walls. Then maybe I need the base constraint, which level they are, and the unconnected height, what height they are. Okay, and I can then take material name, material description, material volume, okay, and maybe the material cost as well. These many field will insert basically. So we want the count of walls, how many family and types of walls are there, what functions of walls are there, what are the base constraint of wall, means on which level they are being started, what is the unconnected height, means what's the height of that wall, then what will be the material name, material description, material volume, and material cost. These field options we wanted basically. Now I'll come to the filter tab, and I'll say filter by the material name, which is equal to the brick common, because I want only the material takeoff for brick wall only, or for the bricks material only, not for all of them. If I do not filter it, what will happen? It will take off the material for every parts that are there in the wall, even for the paint, even for the plaster, even for the bricks. Every parts would be material would be extracted basically. Now, if I'm choosing filter by name, which is equal to bricks, it will now only take off the information of bricks only. It will not take off the information of any other material parts basically. Okay, then I can come into the sorting and grouping, and then I can say that I want to sort this by the base constraint. It should have header and footer, and it should show me the grand total as well. Okay, and now if I click on OK, it is showing me some takeoff. So there are 8 walls actually. All of these walls are made of bricks. Okay, all of these walls are interior functions. They are all starting on plinth level. Some of them walls are of certain height, some of them are smaller in height wise as well. They are all made of bricks. Material description is common brick. That's the material volume, and that's the material cost basically. Now the cost column is inputted as 0. That means brick cost is not been provided. We can provide the brick cost also. Supposing like if I input 6 rupees cost of brick, you can see now if I input 6 in one column or one cell, it inputs 6 everywhere basically. Now over here, यहाँ पे जो material volume जो दिया है, this is a material volume with MOTAR basically. Okay, so we can rename this cell material volume with MOTAR. Okay, so remember that whatever material volume we are by defaultly getting is with MOTAR basically. Okay, so now what we need to find over here is the number of bricks that are there with MOTAR basically. कि कितने number of bricks जाएंगे with MOTAR के साथ में basically. ठीक है, so I'll find out how many number of bricks is being required with MOTAR. So for that I'll come to field edit and I'll create a formula parameter. So add a calculator parameter. In that I'll write down the name of the cell. I'll call this as number of bricks with MOTAR. Okay, discipline type is common. Type would be numbered because we are searching the quantity. Okay, formula for this would be what basically the formula is very simple. It would be whatever is your material volume with MOTAR, divide that with the volume of one brick basically. So my material volume with MOTAR divide by 1 volume of one brick. So volume of one brick, last time we found it out, it was 0.00 cubic meter, 0.002 sorry cubic meter. And then put that, and I'm going to click on OK. So now we'll get to know the number of bricks that is going to be utilized with MOTAR basically. Now over here we need to find the volume of MOTAR basically. तो अभी हम लोग को क्या फाइंड करना है कि एक्चुअल मटेरियल में कितना मोटार वॉल्यूम जा रहा है बेसिकली. Okay, so the MOTAR quantity is around 20 to 30% in a wall. Okay, so we'll consider suppose 20%. Okay, so we'll create another formula to find the volume of MOTAR basically. We'll edit formula volume of MOTAR, and we are searching for volume, so we'll take the type as volume, and the formula for that would be material volume with MOTAR multiply, means I'll give the star sign, multiply by 20%, so 20%. Okay, so we get to know the volume of MOTAR that is going to be used with the bricks basically. Okay, now we need to search the volume of bricks without MOTAR. कितना volume of bricks जाएगा, okay, without MOTAR basically. Or you can write down volume of material without MOTAR also basically. Okay, but I'll name it very specifically. So again a field formula. We call this as volume of wall or brick, sorry, without MOTAR. Again, the type would be volume. Where is it? Yeah. And the formula for this would be whatever is your material volume with MOTAR. So material volume with MOTAR minus the volume of MOTAR basically. Okay. So if we minus it out, we'll get the volume of brick without MOTAR basically. There we go. Now we need to find the net number of bricks that is going to be used. Okay. So the net number of bricks that is going to be used so again we'll create a field formula. Create a formula for that. Bricks used. The formula for this would be volume of brick without MOTAR will divide this with one volume of brick. So the volume of one brick was 0.002 cubic meter.
Plus 10%.
Yes. Now we'll include our wastages also. So wastages we'll consider 10% is wastages, or sometimes some people consider 12% also as wastages. Means additional number of bricks should be added, so that while during transportations or while during construction some of the bricks gets damaged or gets broken down. Okay, so we are adding more 10% wastages in the same formula only. Then if I click on OK, we'll get the net number of bricks that is going to be used. So this is the number of bricks that is going to be actually used without the MOTAR basically. Okay. Now we want the total number of brick. Okay. Now we are not getting any of these total. We are not getting the total of net bricks. We are not getting the total of even of the number of bricks with MOTAR also. So we want the total of everything. So we'll come to the format editing. You can select the cells that you want total. So net brick का भी total चाहिए था, and number of brick with MOTAR का भी total चाहिए था. So उसका volume का भी अगर आपको चाहिए तो उसका भी आप total ले सकते हैं basically. You can add all these totals basically there. So they'll get total for all the remaining cells basically. So total we required 913.48 bricks in the project to create these walls basically there. These mini walls basically there. Okay. Now that wall ka length kitna hai, we have not taken out that field, so we can also come into the field edits and can add length of wall also. We put the length of wall above the unconnected height. That's the length of that specified wall basically. Okay. So 2032 millimeter of wall and a height of 2100 of wall. We required 164 bricks basically there without MOTAR basically. Okay.
Total cost.
Yeah. Now about the cost. So we know that these are the total bricks, and that's the cost per brick basically there. So we can add one more field formula that would be about the total cost. So you can come into fields. You can come into the add calculator parameter. You can call this as total cost of bricks. The type would be currency, and the formula would be the net number of bricks used, which will be multiplied by the material cost. So that's that costing. Now if I wanted to get that total also, we can come into total cost, calculate total, and click on OK. will get. So 5,480.92 rupees would be invested in the for brick purchase only basically. Now in this we have not added transportation cost basically there. So if you want to add transportation cost, supposedly 5,000 rupees is going to go in transportation cost. So in formula you can add plus 5,000 for your transportation basically there, or you can create another cell and add another about it basically. This is just an estimation to get it basically. No transportation costs is being added basically. Okay, now we have got this basically there. What we can also extract from here is the quantity of cement that is gonna used basically, number of bags of cement. Okay, so for number of bags of cement, we should know the volume of MOTAR basically. Okay, so let's say that we know the volume of MOTAR. Here we have volume of MOTAR. Okay, we have already extracted basically there. So what we should know that what grade of cement we are using basically. Okay, M20 or another grades basically there, and what ratio you're gonna use. Okay, so supposingly I'm going to use 1:3 as the ratio in the mortar basically there. Okay, so 1 cement bag and 3 bags of sand basically there. Okay, so 1:3 is the ratio basically. Okay, so the sum ratio would be what? It would be 1 plus 3, that is equivalent to 4. Okay, so now we need to find the cement volume basically. Okay, so to find the cement volume, I'll input a formula, field formula. Cement volume. Okay, and we'll find the volume. Okay, so the formula would be what basically there, 1 multiplied by the volume of mortar. Okay, multiplied by the dry volume of the cement bag basically.
The density.
Okay, yeah, the density basically, which would be 1.27 basically. Okay, you can get this from the net also. The dry cement का आपका 1 bag का कितना density होता है basically. Okay, which I will be divided by the sum ratio basically. So the sum ratio is 4 because मैं यहाँ पे use कर रहा हूँ 1:3 का ratio basically. अगर मैं 1:4 का use करता तो ratio 5 होता basically. Sum ratio 5 होता. And we'll click on OK, and OK, we'll get the cement volume. Now we need to find that how many number of bags we gonna get it basically. Kitna used hoga basically. So the formula would be again very simple. It would be the cement volume divided by the volume of 1 bag basically. So I'll take numbers. This would be the number of cement bags. Formula would be cement volume divided by the volume of 1 cement bag. So 1440. Okay, in kg cubic meter basically, so which we can input. So it's coming in very decimal factor. kg नहीं लिया उसने, इसे cubic millimeter ही लिया, cubic
Sir,
meter
he
ही
had
लिया.
calculated, sir, on that cell
Yeah,
itself, he had calculated the volume actually. I think you took the wrong value.
yeah.
Some 0.03 कुछ था उसमें. You check that page again. Volume of one cement bag नीचे दिया है.
हाँ
0.03.
ये रहा, सॉरी वाला कॉपी किया था. Yeah, there we go. So this much number of cement bags would be utilized, and we need to format editing में जाके इसका भी calculate total कर लूँ. So we almost required 4.17 number of bags actually. Okay, so 4 bags to 5 bags, 4 bags only for just 8 walls, for almost this much walls basically. You get this number of cement bags basically there. Similarly, you need to find the sand volume. Okay, so sand volume अगर आपको find करना है basically there, so you can minus it out basically there. Your motor volume को minus कर दो cement volume के साथ में, you'll find the sand का volume. Okay, and the same formula for to find the number of sandbags basically there. So the formula to find the number of sandbag would be 3. Okay, let me show you only, otherwise you will find it difficult. So first I'll find the volume of sand. So put on this cell, volume of sand. Formula would be the volume of mortar minus the, sorry, not the volume of mortar,
Is volume of mortar
minus cement.
volume of cement. Cement volume. Second last.
Find the formula would be 3 multiplied by the volume of sand and the density of this. Yes, density of sand. We need to again search it from the online. किधर गया? Volume of one sandbag. It is 0.5 cubic meter. Depends on so how much kg of bag you gonna use it basically. Yes, ma'am.
क्या चालू है सर?
हाँ.
कल अगर सीडीएस मैथ्स की वो रश्मि लोखंडे करके एक स्टूडेंट थी ना,
1 minute. Just a minute, guys. Sorry, so 20 kg bag, it is how much basically? It is 0.5 cubic meter basically. So let's assume that we are using 20 kg of
We
bag.
are using 50 kg.
Let's consider 50 kg only because cement का भी हम लोगों ने 50 kg use किया हुआ है. So 0.03125 cubic meter basically. So let's put, see the ratio of the sand, volume of sand, and the what was it was 0.03125 basically, correct? That's for 50 kg of sand bag basically.
Yes.
What's wrong? And then divide by the sum ratio, that is 4. Consistency unit.
What happened?
Getting some error.
So why we are doing multiplying this?
3, that is the our ratio of the sand, which would be multiplied by the volume of sand basically. So 3 multiplied by the volume of sand. Then it would be multiplied by the density basically there. So that was 0.03, sorry, how much it was? 125. Then we'll be dividing by the sum ratio, that is 4. Then we are finding the number.
So this is not for the number.
This is volume of cement basically.
Yes,
Oh yes,
volume of sand.
volume of sand basically. Volume of sand we have find it out basically.
Yeah.
So we don't need
this
it.
is not the formula.
This is not the formula. So the formula would be what basically there?
0.6.
Yeah, sand. Sorry. So what is my volume of sand basically there? Then it will be divided by the volume of one cement bag basically. So that is this one 0.03125. Sorry, my mistake. I was again finding the missing point. Okay, now we get that. We call okay, get the number of sandbags that is going to be utilized, and once again we'll come in formatting. We can take that total. Okay, so here we go. We have number of cement bags and number of sandbags found it off. So 9 sandbags would be utilized, 4 cement bags would be utilized. Now in cement also, if you want to add some percentage of wastages, and even in sand if you want to add some percentage of wastages, you can add that as well. So you can add plus 10% or 5%. Not 10% would be too much, but 5% is okay in cement and 5% in your sand as well basically. Okay. Lot of time कैसा होता है, बहुत सारे लोग sand में 10% लेते हैं. Sand is something is like we oftenly there has been dried off, or like it's not been properly transported, it's not been dumped properly basically. The cement का कैसे रहता है, it comes in bags basically, so it's like it's easy to transport also basically. Okay, so for sand you can take 10%, but for cement you take it off 5%. Okay, I've not added wastages in cement and sand both basically. Okay, so this is how you can take off the quantity of bricks basically there, including the mortar basically there, and including the finding of the cement bags and the sand bags. Now you can add a cell for cost of cement and cost of sand bags also. Suppose cement is costing you around 450 bucks basically there per bag basically there, 50 kg of bag basically, then you can then multiply with the number of cement bags, then you can get off the answer basically. Okay, but I'll leave that till here only because the rate would be constantly changing. Now when we are using Revit, we will not give the rate for cement and sand basically there. Bricks ka, yeah, it is fine basically, because brick is something which is not majorly updated basically. If it's 6, it's 6, stays for a longer time basically. Okay, so roughly estimation of the area. But for cement and sand, it depends on from your project location also. If it's a different location, you might get cheaper. If you are in the very rural areas, basically, then it might get very expensive also, because you need to purchase it from a very far away where the cement and sandbags are not being available basically. Okay, and even transportation would be a problem basically. So something about cost of cement and sand, architects never provided basically. We only provide the number of bricks basically and the cost of bricks only basically. Okay, now this was simple. Similarly, you can do it for your what do you say about your block walls basically then. Okay, same thing will be coming in. Now we can also edit this cells. Maybe this is my number of sandbags, so I can give different shading to this over here. Maybe I'll give brown shade to sandbags. Okay. Cement, I can give a little bit different shadings. I can give gray. Little lighter gray should be fine. Okay. And for lead bricks, I can give it a bit of different shadings. Different. Okay, so you can colorize your cell as well. Make it more attractive to look around basically. Okay. Now about the tile quantity. Now we have floorings over here. Yeah. Okay, and in flooring also we have. Let's take for this living room. It's 1200 by 1200 curve flooring we have been used basically. Want to find the quantity of tile that is going to used in the flooring basically in the living and dining room area. Okay, so number of tile counts we want to find off basically. So if you want to find off the number of tiles that is going to be used in your flooring, how do we do that? So it's very simple. Again, we come to the view tab. We'll take scheduling. So you take material takeoff. Now we want to take off the material takeoff for floorings. So we'll search for floors. And then we click on OK. And I can add what parameters that I want to add it. So I want to add the counts of floors, the family and type of floor, what level it is, what's the functionality of that floor, and maybe the material name, material description, and maybe the material manufacturer information, the material area, okay, and material cost. Okay, I'm not including material volume, okay, because I don't need that. Then I can come into filters and I'll say by material name, which is equal to finish floor of living room. Okay, so I want only of the tile counts basically. So that's why I took for FFL living rooms only. And then I can sort this out by the levels wise. Okay. And I'll say give me a grand total of that. Okay, so currently I've only done one flooring, so it's only showing one flooring. Okay, material description, I can write down this 1200 by 1200 tiles. Manufacturer name is also appearing, Johnson Styles. That's the area of that tile. Cost per tile we have provided $65 per tile. That's good. Now we need to find the number of tile counts basically. Okay, so number of tile count, the formula is very simple. Whatever is the area of your material divided by the area of one tile. Okay, so area of one tile, that was like, if I use the calculator, 1200 by 1200 in mm, it was like 14,40,000. And we are doing in square feet over here. So material area is in square feet. So I need to convert this from square millimeter to square feet. So square feet. That's it. 15.5. Okay. Yeah. Square millimeter. I'm getting this much. 14 lakh.
14 lakh.
Yeah, it is 14 lakh 40,000.
10.06.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll take that only. Take a field formula. Number of tiles or you can say call name it. In numbers we can take material area divide by one area of tile, which was this much. Okay, plus I'm going to add some wastages, so I'm going to say 10% of wastages. Okay, so I'll be requiring around 27.97 number of tiles in an area of 432 square feet, basically, of a tile size of 1200 by 1200, basically. Okay, with the wastages, which is equivalent to like 28 number of tiles, basically. And you know the cost also, so you can give total cost, number of tile multiplied by the cost of material. So 1818.85. That's just for the cost of material, basically. Okay, means cost of tile only. It's quite cheap right now because the tiles is quite cheap, basically. So if I increase the cost of tile, maybe if I make that of let's take it off, one tile is costing 15, might shoot up a lot. Okay. It will take around 41,961.81 rupees of money to purchase 28 number of tiles. Okay, for an area of 432 square feet only. Okay, so that's how you of the quantity of tiles. Okay, so that's to take off material, take off brick and of walls, basically. Okay, and floor, sorry. So floor, maybe I took this, so I'll rename this as this floor material takeoff for living and dining. Okay. So is this clear to all?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. So tomorrow we continue with new topic, that is area command, basically. Okay. So we did room command, correct? We did naming of roomings, basically. Like ये room किया हुआ था हम लोग. Okay. But now if I want to find out what is the gross area of this entire project and what is the rentable area for this entire project, basically. Okay, so in the architectural tab we find a command that is called area command. using this command, we'll find the gross area and the rentable area for this particularly project basically. Okay. So first, try this options is first about the quantity of bricks, quantity of blocks, quantity of cements, mortar, sands, okay, and number of tiles. Okay, and we already did the scheduling for the door and window also. Okay, so almost material takeoff is completed. You can start with area comments. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome.